A river monster who could take on dinosaurs and fish the size of great white sharks. Their cousins walk among us, but we're just beginning to understand them. A giant killer among giants. This is the Sarcosuchus. Hi, I'm Talia Loie Mary, and you're watching Paleologic. Around 120 million years ago, there lived a creature that made even the dinosaurs tremble. The Sarcosuchus lived in the rivers of Gondwana, which later split into South America and Africa. This croc-like creature wasn't really a crocodilian, but belonged to a related clade called Phyllitosauridae. But for comparison purposes, let's take a moment to talk about the saltwater crocodile. These behemoths can get up to 6 meters in length and weigh over 1,000 kilograms. They can catch and eat prey as large as gaurs and water buffaloes. They're the largest living reptiles on the planet today. But this modern giant would seem like a little lizard next to the mighty Sarcosuchus, who scientists believe could have been up to 12 meters long and weighed over 4,000 kilograms. There still is a bit of uncertainty on their size because there are no complete fossils of this ancient beast. All we have are estimates based on the size of their skull and their hip bones. But even the most conservative calculations put it at least 50% longer and 3 times heavier than the largest living crocodilians. The snout of a juvenile was over a meter long, and it was relatively narrow with a bump at the end, similar to the Indian gharial. Its shape tells us that they mostly fed on fish for the first several years of their lives. Narrow snouts are more hydrodynamic than broader ones, so it takes less force to rapidly open and close them underwater. Their prey is bitten and swallowed in the blink of an eye. As they got older, their snout got wider and their diet became more varied. This type of transformation is not seen in modern crocodilians, but supported a life where they started out eating fish and then would get big enough to catch prey outside of the water. Their eyes could only move up and down, so we can deduce that they would hang out near the shore, just waiting for the right moment to snap at whatever came their way. Their expanded menu included dinosaurs and other vertebrates, such as large turtles that ventured too close to the water. Catching dinosaurs was obviously a dangerous business, so to protect themselves, Sarcosuchus had a thick layer of bony scales all the way from their neck to the middle of their tails. It was a nightmare in shining armor. Even though they could eat more things as adults, fish were still a viable option. One of their likely prey was a giant riverfish called Mawsonia, a coelacanth-like leviathan that could reach 6 meters in length, about the same size as Bruce from Jaws. Getting this big and deadly could take decades, and sometimes we can tell the age of a fossil animal by cutting a thin section of their bone and counting the lines of arrested growth, kind of like the growth rings you count on the inside of a tree trunk. These lines are formed when the animal's metabolism slows down dramatically, usually during the winter, so in effect, each line represents a year of age. A fossil of one Sarcosuchus individual, estimated to have died at 80% of its maximum potential size, was found to have been about 40 years old based on these growth lines. So from this, we can extrapolate that they reached their full monstrous size at about 60 years of age. There's still a lot left to learn about this magnificent species. We've only discovered a handful of fossils, but excavations are ongoing. Their fossils are mostly found in deserts in remote areas of North Africa. Some of the most recent discoveries took place in Tatooine, Tunisia, a place that was the shooting location for a famous desert planet in a somewhat popular space opera. It's wild to think that that area was once a lush forest. But hey, the Earth changes, and those changes are what make evolution happen.